Right, okay, good morning. Have to admit, totally loving this weather. Oh my gosh, isn't it just phenomenal? You just like in days like this, you just think anything's possible. Or, when the weather, you get this balmy early morning. It's just absolutely incredible. So nice and so inspiring. Anyway, good morning. Sorry I'm a bit late. Judy here, Judy V here, and I work with entrepreneurially minded people to become financially empowered so that they can have the freedom that they deserve. I'm really, really passionate about empowering and helping people become financially empowered. So whatever form that takes, because for financial empowerment for everybody is very different. So today I wanted to speak about what is truly holding back from essentially really accelerating your life, okay? And I want to boil it down to two things, okay? Good morning, Miriam. How are you? I want to boil it down to two things, and that is, one, lack of clarity or lack of clarity of vision for what it is you would love, right? That's the one thing. That's what stops us from taking incredible steps forward. And two, the meaning we have applied to past experiences. There are two things, really, when you break it down to its really sort of like basic points, they're the two things that really, really hold us back from taking massive steps forward and accelerating our life in the direction that we would absolutely love it to go. So clarity, and one of the reasons why we lack clarity of vision for where we would love to go is because we have a whole lot of baggage for the meaning that we've applied to experiences we've had in the past. Okay, so it's a chicken and egg. What comes first? All right, and that is then also, good morning, Maggie. That then also pretty much has an effect. Has the effect of us potentially having a disharmonious relationship with money, okay? Because money is so much wrapped up in our self-worth, in our feeling of deserving, in our feeling good or bad about ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we all know that money is just money, all right? Money is just a tool. Money is just, in of itself, money is nothing. It's the meaning we apply to money. And the meaning we apply to money is everything around self-worth. Okay, do we deserve it? Got to work hard for it. Doesn't grow on trees. All of those sort of perceptions. All of those meanings that we apply to money today are a culmination of all the beliefs and the meanings we have applied to experiences in the past. And that's what's keeping us stuck. Because if we were financially empowered, think about it this way. If you were financially empowered today, right, you did not have to worry about where money would come from to meet all of your demands every month for the rest of this year, for the rest of next year, and the year after that. What would your life look like? Okay, it'd be very different. I'm not saying necessarily that you'll be able to hop on a first-class flight around the world. Okay, that's more like financial freedom. Okay, when I speak about financial empowerment, I'm talking about being financially empowered is freedom in of itself. Okay, not necessarily financially free, but having financial empowerment, having financial resilience, having financial security, what that is being financially empowered. Once you're financially empowered, can you just imagine the difference in the state you would be, okay? And the how you would be able to have clarity of vision of where it is you would love to go to. Because in order to be financially free, you've shattered all your perceptions, and let's face it, I'm going to be brutally honest here, lies that we have about money, okay? We'd have shattered all of that, okay, we would have like reframed the beliefs and the perceptions we applied to past experiences and allowed ourselves the freedom to express our natural skills and talent in order to become that person that is financially empowered. Right now, when you're financially empowered, now you can imagine what is it that you would do with the rest of your life. What would you do? If I gave you £10 million now, or $10 million now, you're right, 10 million, that's more than enough for anybody to have financial empowerment for life, right? That's more than enough. So I gave that to you. What would you do with your life? Not what you think you should do. Don't ask that. Don't ask what you think you should do. Or you're going to give it to this one, give it to that one, give it to that. I'm not going to allow you to give it to anybody, right? You're not allowed to give it to anybody, right? So forget that. What will you do with it? Or what would you do with your life, rather? That's more the question. What will you do next? What would your life look like? What is it you would love to do next? What was it you would love to achieve by the end of 2020? By the end of next year? In the next 5 years? When you take money out of the equation, okay, take money out of the equation, take financial empowerment out of the equation, step into that person of being financially empowered, what does your life look like? It's a great way to start getting clarity on what it is you would absolutely love, right? Now, here's the thing. If you can't break it down, disregard money, but if you can't break it down, if you've got a vision for what it is you would love to achieve in life, or you'd love to be, do, and have in life, if you can't break it down into the smallest bite-sized chunks, irrespective of money, then it's going to be a fantasy. Okay, so if you're clear about what it is that you would absolutely love in terms of clarity of vision, what you would love your life to be, all right, you're able to then break it down. So in 5 years, you'd love to be, do, and have X, Y, and Z. Then you reverse engineer it, break it down into the smallest component parts. Okay, right? Take away money, forget money. What are the next steps that you need, and what do you need to get there? That in itself is the inability to do that. Our inability to do that is what holds us back, because we have a perception that we can't, we're not good enough, we don't have enough money. Take that out. Take that out. Absolutely, Elaine. Gaining that clarity is a difficulty. That's why I said at the beginning, there's two key things that stops us from accelerating our life, and that is the meaning that we've applied to past experiences. That is what is stopping that clarity. Reframe those past experiences and reframe the meaning you've applied to them, right? Because you have every right to live life to the fullest extent of your potential. So put yourself into a situation now today where if you had 10 million in the bank, right? So, I mean, an extraordinary amount where you're never going to worry about money again. What is it will your life look like? What is your life going to look like? Start playing with that. Because you realize when you start doing that how actually little money in itself matters. Because money is just tool. It's just an energy that we apply to it. We give it human traits. It doesn't deserve those human traits. Okay? We are the cause of the money, not the money itself. We give it a life of its own that it doesn't deserve. Okay? We are the cause of our wealth. Okay? Right? So when you step into that clarity, what it is you would love, without having a sense of lack, without having a sense that something is holding you back or handbraking your life. Okay, so step into that. Think, what is it, if you had 10 million, what is it that you would love to be, do, and have in life? You're not allowed to give any of it away. You're not allowed sit on the beach and do nothing, because I've tried that, I promise you. I tried that for a year, okay? And I promise you, it's very boring, right? After a while, it gets very boring and it's not fulfilling. And that's not what we're here. That's not, if you think that you get 10 million, you're going to go and live on a beach or go to the Caribbean and eat coconuts all day, I promise you, it's a fantasy, because you'll get really bored after a few months, right? So we are naturally always needing to expand. If we're not expanding, if we're not growing, we are regressing, and then when we're regressing, we become extinct. Okay, that's what it is. We'll extinct ourselves. So so to get rid of those two things, what is it that you would love to do? Is it something you'd love to create? Is it something you'd love to experience? Is it something you would love to, something you would love to impact? What is it? Whatever it is then, whatever you start playing with and getting clear on, write it down, map it out, and then start putting dates to it. Then, excuse me, this is the litmus test. Then you reverse engineer it and you break it down into the smallest component parts, to the point at which you can start taking steps today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and so on, towards that. And here's the thing. You do that, experience that, be that, step into that, play with it, start taking the action steps towards it. And if you find yourself hesitating, frustrating, procrastinating, that's an alarm for you. That's a warning for you to say, well, hold on a second, why am I doing that? Why am I not taking the steps towards it? 9 times out of 10, the reason why will be because whatever it is that you wanted to achieve is a fantasy. Because you will have internal conflict which is being created by the core of you knowing that this is not in alignment with your vision, your purpose, your values, and your North Star, essentially. All right? And if you find yourself doing that, 9 times out of 10, it'll be because it's not completely aligned and congruent with your values. So then go back to the drawing board. So it might be that it's not completely wrong. It might need tweaking. Go back to the drawing board and review it. What is it that needs tweaking? What is it that needs altering? What is it that I need to just reframe slightly and go again? Success comes by design. It does not happen by accident, okay? And we can't just go from day to day, week to week, month to month, hoping that everything will come through. In trading, as many of you know, I've got a company called Trilogy of Traders, right? Nobody in the trading community, nobody in my world in trading is allowed to use the word hope. Nobody. It is a word that is banned in the Tribe of Traders. Because if you're leaving something to hope, you're subjugating yourself to an outside force rather than empowering yourself to make the decision that it will be. All right. I understand that there might be a place for the word hope in society, in some places, in some circumstances, I'm sure. But it's a word that I do not like. It's a word that takes power away from me rather than empowers me. And therefore, I would urge you to shift away from any sense of hope. Take control, own your life agenda, own your power. Do not subjugate yourself to outside influences, and be empowered from within to the point where the voice is so loud from inside of your heart that it drowns out all the noise and distractions on the outside. And now's the time to do it. Now's the perfect time to do it. Okay, Elaine, does that help? Does that help at all? And you see, then one of the things is, so often I've seen this quite frequently, is that people are afraid to articulate a vision that they have. They're afraid to sort of put it out there, to write it down, to cast it, as they see it, maybe cast it in stone, to make it something that's that they go for. And there's a few reasons for that. One, is fear of they get it wrong. But you can't get it wrong. Here's the thing, you can't get it wrong. Okay, there is no wrong and there's no right. Right? It's an exploration, it's a journey. Okay, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. You will find the closer you get to having clarity on that vision, the closer you get to actually being able to reverse engineer it and break it down to the component parts, and the more you focus on, what should I say? The more you focus on actually doing those every single day, essentially filling your day with high priority actions, okay, the more you take your life forward, the more inspired you'll be, the more expanded you'll be, the less you will be likely to be handbraked or hindered by past experiences and meanings and perceptions you've gained and meanings you've applied to past experiences. Not to say that there's not wisdom in sorting them out. There is. But the more you are right now, today, inspired, expanded, empowered, unstoppable, the more you will create of that, the more momentum you create, the more momentum you will have, the more you will look forward and being master of your life rather than victim of your history. Okay, and so what if you get it wrong? Because on that journey, you are expanded all the time. You are growing all the time. You are experiencing all the time. You will know and get clarity on what it is you do want and don't want. You will start standing for things that are really congruent for you and not standing for things that are not congruent for you. You will be living life to your agenda. Okay, it might not be exactly pinpoint spot on your agenda, but you can tweak it. Nothing's cast in stone. And that way of life is wealth. That's where your $10 million will come from. Because it is the money itself, forget it. Forget it. We give it too much power. Okay, it doesn't deserve it. We own our wealth, and money is nothing but the effect of being in an empowered state. That's all it is. Money, when you live life like that, money comes. Money is energy. All right? That's all it is. It's energy. All right? When we are expanded and moving forward and growing and living congruent with our values and a clarity of vision and taking steps every single day, don't get me wrong, I am not talking about taking massive business steps every day like a bloody robot. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking, even if 50% of your day is spent playing in the garden with kitties, it doesn't matter. As long as it's high priority, it's taking you in the direction of where you want to go, where your vision is. That people misunderstand sometimes when I say fill your day with high priority actions. Actions that empower you, that inspire you, that make you the greatest version of who you are. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, making massive business decisions and making big deals and all that sort of stuff, okay? It might be part of it, and that's great. It's high priority actions rather than low priority shit. Fill your day with low priority shit. That is despairing. That contracts you. That is when you start pulling yourself down to the lower vibrational states. That's when you start living in the hindbrain, in the amygdala, where you've got predator prey, where you're constantly seeking pleasure without pain, seeking gain without loss. That lie, okay? That lie, which is nothing but contracting. It's despairing. It's there's in that low hindbrain sort of state of being, there's lack. There's a perception of lack, I should rather say. There's a perception of scarcity. Okay, when we're in that space, we create more of it because we are magnets. There's nothing we can do but that. We are magnets. So when you're in that lower scarcity, lack, fear, shame, guilt, regret state, we make more of it, right? But when we fill our day with high priority action, we become expanded, we become inspired, and we magnetize more of that. And that's where wealth starts absolutely just flowing in. We get out of our own way and become the person we've been born to become. As I always say, who and on what universe could it possibly be that God, Mother Nature, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, gave you a vision without also giving you two things: the ability to create it and make it a reality, and two, the fact that you deserve it? Why would God, the universe, or Mother Nature have given you that vision without, one, you deserving it, and two, the ability to create it? You've got everything that you need to make it a reality. Get out of your way, get clear on what it is, start getting clear on what it is. If it's not, just have a stab at it. The more you focus on that, the more you focus on that, the more you're taking steps toward that, the more you can tweak it, the more you can review it, the more you can be self-aware enough. Are you taking the actions? Are you frustrating? Are you hesitating? Or are you taking the actions? If you're hesitating, frustrating, ask yourself the question, why? Because I promise you, 9 times out of 10, I would actually say 9.97 times out of 10, it will be because whatever it is you're going for is not 100% aligned to what it is you would truly love. Because we cannot lie to ourselves. We think we can, but we can't. Because on a cellular level, what will happen is you will be telling yourself, this is not really what I want. All right, this is not really what I want. That we sometimes mix up what it is that we think we want something, but then we've got this voice telling us, no, well, we don't deserve it, or no, it's not, or whatever. And we mix that up. We label that as we don't deserve it. When in actual fact, it's more likely that it's not quite on the ball. It's not quite exactly what it is that we would love. Because when we do set up a target, a vision, a goal, an objective, so often the reason why we have it is because we feel that's what we should have, rather than what it is we would love. Because the society says we should have this, we should have a home with a garden, sending our kids to private school, we should live a 9-to-5 job, we should do this, we should do that, we should do this. Bullshit. Okay, there's no shoulds. The only thing that you are required to do is to live 100% congruent with your values towards your purpose, taking every step every day towards your North Star. That's your job, that's your goal, that's your job, that's what you're here to be, do, and have. And when you do that, you are incredibly wealthy in all 7 areas of life. So, it helps in understanding the way of visioning. I'm clear of what my life would look like if I was financially free to choose my path. Have you tried it, Elaine? Have you tried it? Try it out. Have a go at it. And the video's gone again. It does this every single time on this page. It's really weird. But I can see I'm still there. Yep, I'm still there. Okay, so, Elaine, try it, okay? Try it. If you're financially, don't think about it in terms of, financially free, all right, or financially secure. Maybe think of it from the point of view of financially secure, okay? In other words, you have enough to pay off your bills every month, all right? Don't think about being financially free, because that then creates a whole lot that we have perceptions around that. Just, you've got enough to continue your life, quality of life, or your standard of life right now for the next few years. What is it that you will spend your life doing? All right, just start playing with that, okay? I'm going to be back here on Friday, and I want to be talking about, there's a couple of hacks, a couple of things that will get you to do. So come with pen and paper. In the Wealth Breakthrough Facebook group, I'm going to be doing at 10 o'clock on Friday morning in the Wealth Breakthrough Facebook group. I want you to come with pen and paper, because I'm actually going to get you to do some exercise. I really want to see if we can crack a fractious relationship with money, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. Okay, so make sure you join me on Friday at 10 o'clock in the Wealth Breakthrough Facebook group. Okay, Elaine, come and join me on Friday. Think about it between now and then, what I've asked you to do, and let's see what comes up. Okay. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine. It is just so amazing. All right, guys. Bye.